LoreWarrior Online, NDA-1K, No-Dachi. Overview. The Federated Commonwealth's success with the Hatchet Man and later the Axeman sparked an interest among Combine manufacturers in the creation of a similar close combat unit. To their surprise, prototype Hatchet mechs were met with lukewarm reception from Combine test pilots. The problem was mainly psychological. The samurai mentality was so firmly ingrained in the minds of these modern mech warriors that they considered wielding an axe barbaric. Designers would replace the bulky hatchet with an elegant katana, a move that would prove far more successful. Capabilities. The Cosby Myoma research firm had just finished reverse engineering a new composition of triple-strength Myoma from a Davian battlemech when the 11th Legion of Vega approached them with a proposal for the No-Dachi. Triple-strength Myoma and a 7-meter-long katana made this design a dangerous close combat fighter. Its array of short-range weapons and exceptional speed for a heavy mech reinforced the role. The primary source of the No-Dachi's firepower is a pair of shoulder-mounted medium-range missile racks and an extended-range PPC. A medium laser, a pair of SRM missile launchers, and an extended-range PPC round out the mech's weapons. The PPCs originally came from a surplus batch created when Panther pilots stripped them out for older, more heat-efficient weaponry, so they cost very little to incorporate into the No-Dachi. Ironically, the PPC generated heat that caused such headaches for Panthers is a boon to the No-Dachi, who must run their machines hot to get the full benefit of the triple-strength Myoma. Deployment. Through special arrangements with Cosby, the bulk of No-Dachis in service resides with the Legion of Vega. Still, the equivalent of several battalions have been shipped to other frontline units since the end of the clan invasion, and they remain in great demand. Sword of Light regiments have, for the most part, avoided the No-Dachi because of the stigma attached to the Legion of Vega. Instead, they continue to agitate for a new sword-bearing mech, which would be their exclusive property. Variants. The Legion of Vega first field-tested the NDA-2K in 3059. Downgrading the ERPPC now to a large laser and the MRN-20s to 10s allowed designers to exchange most of the weaponry for a heavy array of medium pulse lasers and more armor. The idea of incorporating a C3 slave computer into the No-Dachi was considered but tabled when research studies promised that independent-minded No-Dachi pilots wouldn't take well to the idea of sharing their kills. Instead, a Guardian ECM suite was included to disrupt enemy networks. The success of the 2K model was followed quickly by the 2KO, thought to be the No-Dachi's ultimate in-fighting design. More heatsinks and more pulse lasers make the mech even more deadly at point-blank range. Maximum armor has been redistributed to give the No-Dachi a well-protected back, further guarded by 2 extended-range medium lasers. This design is weighted toward running right into the thick of battle, without giving much care to another mech slipping in behind, just so long as it can bring its lasers and sword against an enemy. So, this is a 70-ton machine. Its chassis is the Foundation CMRF-A7. Its power plant is a Magna 350XL with a cruise speed of 54 and a max speed of 86 kph, again with no jump capability. Its armor is Star Shield A. Armament then is a single Lord's Light 2 extended range particle range beam cannon, 2 Shigunja MRM missile racks, both 20 models, a Guided Technologies SRM2, a Telos 4 SRM4, and a Diverse Optics Type 20 medium laser. Now, there is a weird bit where it mentions having 2 PPCs. It says, as I'll read it again, so the primary source of its firepower is a pair of shoulder-mounted MRMs and an extended-range PPC. That's the first sentence. And then it says, a medium laser, a pair of SRM launchers, and an extended-range PPC round out the mech's weapons. Obviously, there aren't 2 extended-range PPCs, there's only 1. It has the single Diverse Optics medium with the 2S, with an SRM2. Now, that also says a pair of SRMs, but there's only 1 SRM. 2 and an SRM4, so it's a bit, yeah, it's not written very well. They didn't proofread this one, but no, it only has a single ERPPC. Unless it got confusing with the write-up saying a Lord's Light 2 extended range particle beam weapon, and someone thought that meant there were 2 of them. Whatever. Manufactured then by Cosby Battlemech Research Firm. Its primary factory is on Vega, and its communication system is the Garrett T11A, and its targeting and tracking is the Garrett D5J. Stat-wise, this is a mech that walks 5 and runs 8 with 10 double heat sinks. That's all it's got for all that heat it generates. Its head is 9. Its CT has 29 armor with 10 on the rear, 22 on the right and left torso with 8 on the rear. Well, the side torso, sorry. 20 on the arms and 22 on the legs. The ERPPC is located in the left arm. The SRM2 located in the left arm. You can't see it in the artwork. The ammo, 50 shots in total, is also in the left arm. It has a sword, obviously, in the right arm, with an MRM-20 in the left torso, with 12 shots of ammo in the left torso, triple strength Myoma in the left torso as well, and then it has another MRM-20 in the right torso, with another 12 rounds of ammunition in that side torso, also with triple strength Myoma, and an SRM-4 in the CT with 25 shots of ammunition located there, and a single medium laser located in the head, which is obviously the weird spot that you see in the middle of the FOD there. The original artwork, and probably by this point in the video I'll have put up the really cool piece of artwork near the end. This is a mech that, strangely enough, has a fair number of images of it. It obviously became something of a, I guess, an in-office kind of favourite. The original art, though, isn't the best. It's not the worst. It definitely is unique. It stands out from a lot of the other art. It's still got that fucking hazard line thing on the inside of the right leg, though. I just don't know what. Stop doing that. Not every mech, because this posits the idea that every single battle mech manufacturer, right, in the artwork would have these stupid lines somewhere painted on it. Every single mech manufacturer is doing the same thing, and it fucking breaks the immersion. Anyway, minor quibble aside, not a bad loadout, of course. The MRMs are quite fucking nasty. The ERPPC allows it to, obviously, it gains at range, and then obviously it goes like full sword-wielding nutter when it gets in close range and just starts firing SRMs at you, a medium laser, and starts trying to stab you. I mean, I still like this idea that Combine pilots are apparently still wandering around like the fucking ancient samurai or something. It's so weird. It's very dumb. it's where they won't wield an axe. Oh, that's too barbaric. You'll commit the Kentari's massacre. You know, it's like stupid shit like that. It's not a bad match. Obviously, stats wise, yeah, it's pretty good. 70 tons. It's carrying a decent amount of firepower. It's got obviously slightly less armor than things like the Verfolger, and it doesn't. But it has the same movement profile. Again, pretty much all these Inner Sphere mechs, as far as I know, are all XL engine as well, which is the single biggest drawback of any of these designs. Really, is that for the exchange of decent movement rate with some good armor and a decent weapons package is always going to be the case of. But if that side torso goes, you know, the whole thing is just going to drop. I don't think it's not as big a problem on tabletop as it is in a game like MechWarrior, for instance, where you can focus fire on a single section of a mech and tear it apart. Obviously, the randomness of a tabletop die roll means that you can shoot a mech on the left side and hit the right torso, for instance. You know, it's like weird stuff like that. So, yeah, damage can spread quite generously across the machine, just as well as you can have obviously a set of rolls that can just punch straight through into the side torso and take the mech out really quickly. You know, it's just the look of the roll, really, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, that final piece of artwork looks stunning. A really good update of the No-Dachi. Really, really nice piece of artwork. I think that's from one of the later field manuals for the Draconis Combine. It's like field manual House Kurita or something like that. I think it's from that book. And yeah, it looks really, really good. I think later on, the mech that they're hinting at the end is the Akuma. Which I think is the one that sort of like or if it isn't already in this book, it might be. Is it 36.7 has the Akuma? Let's see. Let's just cheat and scroll down. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Although the Akuma doesn't carry a melee weapon, that is a mech though that definitely gets a visual update further down the line, because the original artwork isn't bad, but it looks a bit weird. Anyway. Definitely a threat, definitely an interesting machine to come up against. One that you don't want getting close to you, for sure. And yeah, would be a great kind of late villain to encounter, or just a tough opponent for players. Definitely something to keep their eyes on. Obviously, the one thing that really sort of holds it back is that I don't think 20 heat dissipation is enough to keep up with a lot of its firepower. I mean, it can fire its ERPPC on the move as its only long-range weapon, but if it tries to fire its MRMs combined with the SRMs and like the medium, it's going to start to overheat itself fairly quickly, especially factoring in movement. And if you're using the environmental rules for heat and stuff, ambient temperature, yeah, that can all be a big effect. 10 double heat sinks I don't think is enough for this machine to really keep it cool. But the other variant that it talks about actually sounds way deadlier, the 2K with the pulse lasers and stuff like that. That would actually be quite nasty to come up against. The standard build here is a bit of a kind of an all-round mixed package of long, medium, and ranged and short-range firepower. So yeah, not a bad mech by any stretch. Definitely a good mech that you could imagine sort of replacing a lot of older Combine heavies as they start to produce this new generation of mech. So yeah, definitely a good representation of that with all the new tech and stuff that was coming out. But I have rambled on long enough. I will catch you next time, everyone. Have a good week, and I'll see you in the... Well, I mean, I'll tell you now, by the time this one goes up, the next one should be LoreWarrior campaign. I won't tell you what that campaign is, but it should be the start of a new LoreWarrior, and then once a bunch of them have been done, maybe the whole thing, I don't know how long it'll take, we'll come back to 3067, kicking off with the Word of Blake's next design, the White Flame. But until then, have a good one, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.